In this video, we're just going to talk about the multiplication quiz, and we're going to extend it from last time and basically just allow users to play the game multiple times. So the first thing we're going to do here is we're just going to take our code from the last time we did this, and we're going to take this index.js file and this HTML file, and we're going to copy paste it like so. And again, this playground.html file, this is just linking to our JavaScript file, so it gives us something to open the JavaScript file with a little bit more easily. And then this index.js file is what we had from last time. So just to go over this again real quickly, the first thing this program does is it returns a random number between 1 and 100 and stores that random number in the variable x, which we're declaring here. Then it takes a random number between 10 and 100, that's a multiple of 10, stores it in the variable y. And just to quickly go over this, since it is a little confusing. So the first thing this does is math.random gets a random number between 0 and 1. And then we multiply it by 10 to get a random number between 0 and 9. And we multiply it by 1 to get a random number between 1 and 10. Then we use math.floor to round that number to an integer. And then we multiply that number, so a round number, round integer between 1 and 10 by 10. So that gets us a random number between 10 and 100. So a little bit complicated, but you know, a pretty useful thing once you learn it. And then again, we store this in the variable y. Down here, if you just press Option plus Z, that doesn't have just changes the view so you can see all the code here. So this is just running the game. So the first thing it's doing here is asking the user what is x from up here, multiplied by y from here. And then it stores the variable in, or the user response in this variable called response. We always use the parse int here. This just converts a string to an integer. And then what we're doing here is we're checking to see if the response is true. So if the response here is equal to, and remember the double equal sign, x times y, then alert the user that they got it right. Else alert the user that they got it wrong. So what we're going to do in this video is basically make this exact same thing with one small change, which is we're going to allow the user to play multiple times. So to do that, we're going to create two new global variables. So the first one is we're just going to create a variable that's a Boolean. They'll say whether or not the user is still playing. So we're just going to say still playing. We're going to set that equal to true for now. And then we're going to create another variable just to keep track of the score. So var score equals 0 for now. And then this is where we're going to use a while loop. So while still play equals true. Curly brackets. Then we're going to keep on playing the game. So we're just going to move this down here. And the shortcut for that, again, is Option plus the up or down arrows. And this automatically formats in Visual Studio Code, so it makes it a little easier. And then we can see, so now all this code is in the while loop. So it's in the curly brackets here and here. You can see this white line here that indicates that all this code will run each time this while loop runs. So while still play equals true, you keep on running this code. So now what we want to do is when the user gets it right, instead of saying user gets it right, we're going to delete this. And we're going to do score plus plus. So this is going to just take score and add 1 to it each time the user gets the response right. And if the user gets the response wrong, we're going to stop playing the game. So we're going to make still play equal to false. So what this is going to do is when the user gets it wrong, this is going to be equal to false, and this while loop will no longer be true, and as a result, we'll stop running. And then all you have to do here is alert and tell the user That was wrong, but you got, and then we'll concatenate here, score plus string, correct, and semicolon. So again, this is pretty simple. We're just basically copy pasting what we've already done. And remember the concatenation here for string and our variable here. So that should be it. We'll go run and test to make sure it actually works. And go here, open this. All right, we're gonna play this game again. So 71 multiplied by 80. Let's see. This is gonna be 56, 80. All right, got that right. 76 multiplied by 90. Let's see, so 9 is 63. Man, 63, 54. So 60, 40. All right, didn't have enough there, and a wrong number. Oops, looks like this is not working. So we might have just accidentally created an infinite loop here. So we're just gonna have to close this. Otherwise I'll keep on going, and then we're gonna come back here and try to figure out what we got wrong. So let's see. Looks like even when we put in a wrong number, the user still gets to keep on playing. So what else is going on here? This one's a little tricky. All right, so this might be a good example of how to start debugging some code. So let's see. So basically this code isn't running. So when we're here, we're just gonna do a console log, try to figure out what's going on. So we're gonna do, let's see, x equals, or let's do x times y equals, and we're gonna add in x times y. All right, and then let's see, we're gonna see what the response equals. Response equals response. All right, so this should at least tell us, okay, what is x times y, and what's the going to be equal to, and what is the response here. So let's see if we can do this again and see what happens. And then maybe we'll also add one here just to see. Console.log. All right, let's see. That all looks like it should. Oh, you know what? I think I know what the problem is. This is a double equal sign. So this will not actually set the still play equal to false. So just to confirm that, we'll just put in still play here. So it looks like I already figured it out, but just to show you how to debug, we'll put this in here. All right, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go back to this code, and we're going to run it again. And just for simplicity, we're going to put in a wrong number. But before we do that, this might actually be a little tricky. Yeah, I was going to use the inspector log function, but I guess that won't work if we're running the alert. So this program might actually be a little tricky to run with an infinite loop. What I was trying to do is this. All right, so now let's see if we can do this again. All right, so I'm just going to click refresh here. And okay, so now we have the console tab. So I'm going to put in number 4 here, and here we go. All right, so this is basically the console tab. So every time if we go in here, every time we have a console.log, it will show up in our console screen. So the first console.log is this x times y here, then there's the response, and then whatever the still play is. So this is x times y equals 3000, our response is 4, and here we say still play still equals true. So again, this is because I use the double equal sign instead of the single equal sign. So this isn't actually setting still play equal to false, it's just seeing whether or not still play is equal to false. So it's not actually resetting it. So we found the error, so I'm gonna go ahead and fix that. Always remember to save it. And then we're gonna go back here. Looks like this is gonna be an infinite loop again. These are kind of a pain. So we're gonna open it again here. And we're gonna do the same thing. Got that wrong. And just to show you what it looks like on the console, we're gonna refresh it, and we'll put in the right number first. So this is 1640. And as you can see here, x times y equals 1640, our response is 1640. And when we look back at our code, since the response equals xy, score plus plus, this never runs. So we keep on playing. Now we're going to put in a wrong number, 4. And now it looks like our code's actually running correctly. So x times y equals 960, response equals 4, and still play is set to false appropriately. And then it alerts the user, you got one correct, this is okay, and we're no longer in the infinite loop. So that one was a little bit of a pain, but hopefully it was helpful for you to see what happens when you make a mistake and how to go about debugging the mistake using the console and console log features.